You're allowed to have your opinion whenever you want, except for when it comes to fixing a vehicle properly.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Airing of Grievances. My name's Eric Reamer. That's Robert Grieve. And as always, it's a privilege to have you join us. We know that your time is valuable. We never take that for granted. And we're super grateful that you have taken the time out of your day to join us for ours.
Amen.
And, Rob, it's Saturday, so you know our tradition.
Yep. Happy Saturday to
Happy
you.
Saturday.
My dear friends, happy Saturday to you. Thank you for all of you that tune in regularly, and for our new people joining in, thank you so very, very much. I hope you find this helpful.
Absolutely. Now, from time to time, as in every time we post a video, we get comments in the comment sections. We love the comments.
Love the comments.
And it doesn't matter whether your comments agree with or disagree with us from the perspective of we like the conversation.
Yep.
Right? From time to time, however, there are some comments that we think merit a little deeper dive, a little feedback, maybe, just maybe, a little pushback. And that's what we're going to do today. Rob, about 3 weeks ago, we posted a video on our use of AI and, you know, the way that we asked it, you know, the kinds of questions that, you know, what would you do? How does this work? What should an insurer do? And it came back with remarkable results. I'll put the link both up here as well as down in the description box. So after this video, you can go check it out, and you can check out all of the 220 plus videos in our playlist called The Airing of Grievances. But as I mentioned, we did this thing with the video and asked AI to chime in.
Yeah, it was really, can you read this estimate and tell me about it?
Yes.
Explain it to me. Because estimates, you know, it's like a legal document. You know, somebody can hand me a lawsuit to read and I won't understand what the heck it's saying.
Right.
I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
And words matter.
Words absolutely matter. And trust me, when it comes down to your insurance policy,
words matter.
Words really matter.
Yeah.
And they don't miss any of those words as they write those policies. So we had somebody new jump into our comments and joined our conversation, and he had some things to say.
He had some opinions.
He did.
He had some opinions.
Now, I should say that this was a civil conversation all the way around. From
always will be.
Many of you, our regular viewers, treated it really, really well, and treated him really, really well. We have differing opinions, and we're going to draw some of those out today.
So I just want to say again, we really do appreciate the comments. And, you know, you and I were talking about it the other day. We have several different types of comments.
Yeah.
And many of the comments are turning into, I need help.
Right?
Can you help me?
Yeah.
This is my situation. And we're getting a whole lot of those recently. And so now the question is, why is that? Why? We're going to take a look at some of the comments made here on this particular video that we're referencing. And then we're also going to play a video of another perspective.
Yes.
Not ours.
No.
There's actually testimony in the Washington State Insurance Division's exploratory session.
Yes.
So I want to just read a few of the things, and I'm going to do my best not to comment on them while I'm reading them.
If he does, take a drink.
We can comment on them in a minute or two, but
all right.
Here's where it starts out. It's a joke to say that insurance companies owe for OEM repair research. So we've talked several times about OEM repair research.
Yes.
There's, no matter what you're driving as far as a vehicle goes, there's specific repair procedures to do specific types of repairs, and you want those followed to get your vehicle. You don't want using somebody's opinion.
Well,
You want them using the procedures.
you want them done that way.
Yeah, the consumer wants them done that way too.
They should.
I believe that. It's a joke to say that insurance companies owe for OEM repair research. This video is ridiculously one-sided. Keep in mind this video was generated through AI,
Yeah.
and we did not influence what AI said.
If you're keeping track, that's 2 drinks that you should be taking right now.
Yes. Insurance companies in general will do and pay whatever is required. Body shops typically over-request what is needed. Not going to comment.
Yet.
If insurance companies don't keep shops in line, then no one will be able to afford insurance. Insurance companies' profit margins are typically around 5%. The reason we have ridiculous insurance rates is because it's costing a lot more to repair vehicles.
Don't comment. Don't comment. Yeah, I saved all of us.
He goes on to say, what I see on my end is shops constantly asking for more under the guise of proper procedures while not doing anything different than they did a few years ago. Wait for it. Don't forget, too, that some insurers share their excess profit with their employees through profit sharing.
Well, I get.
I have more.
Oh, you have more. Okay.
I have
All
more.
right. I won't comment, but you know what? Take a drink anyway.
Because somebody was challenging the whole OEM repair research thing.
Yeah.
And God, I love this person that was just giving a little pushback.
Okay.
But he comes back and says, it is not standard in any industry to charge each consumer for access to repair information unless it's something very unique. These shops do not pay per car to have access to OEM information. They pay a subscription that they always have and had, but only recently try to pass this administrative cost onto insurance companies. Shops set rates for labor, and this is an administrative cost associated with the repair. Administrative costs are built into labor rates and are not separate billable operations. The industry standard is to not pay for OEM access. Very little shops ask for it. When a shop requests it from me, I deny it, and that's the end of that.
I'm guessing that the gentleman who is writing these comments is involved in the insurance industry.
I would guess the same.
Yeah.
Actually, he's a self-proclaimed adjuster.
Yep.
And before I address any of these things, I think we ought to get a different perspective.
Yeah. This is from a gentleman by the name of Joshua Green, who several years ago testified in front of the Washington State Congress, and you'll see he is no longer, but was a Geico adjuster. Take a look at this.
My advancement opportunities within Geico relied on writing the lowest possible repair, controlling rental costs, and CSI scores. We were not rated on safety of repairs. I had control over every single one of those metrics, including CSI, but by deciding who did and did not get a CSI survey. According to their own representatives during last year's legislative session, insurance companies are not vehicle repair experts. Vehicle manufacturers are the repair experts. Vehicle manufacturers spend hundreds of millions of dollars each year developing, designing, engineering, and testing their vehicles to be crashworthy in the event of an accident. Vehicle insurance companies like Geico and State Farm, they sell insurance. They're not in the business of designing vehicles or repairing vehicles. Furthermore, as Jeff indicated previously, insurance companies cannot be sued for how they repair or for how they dictate the repair should happen. And yes, insurance companies can, will, and do dictate repair decisions by deciding to not pay for the procedures and passing those costs on to the consumer or shops. Collision centers need the manufacturer's repair procedures and specifications. Thank you for your time.
I think that you can see that there's a contrast between the adjuster making these comments and the adjuster that you just saw that was testifying.
Yes.
A former adjuster.
Right.
For you, the consumer, there is good and bad actors in every industry. I think we can agree on that.
Sure.
And whether it's an industry or a public service like the police or it doesn't really matter. There's always going to be good actors and bad actors.
Of course.
There are shops that are crooks. I'd venture to say could be adjusters that are crooks. What's the, every time the adjuster says no to something, they save the insurance company money. And if they save the insurance company money and they're part of profit sharing, is that a motivation?
Could be.
And is it looking out for you?
That's the foundation of everything that we do here. The guest is always first.
Yes.
You're right. The guest safety, the guest experience.
All the passengers in the vehicle.
And the people on the road driving next to the people in the vehicle that you repair.
Yes. And we believe that repair, and I'm not hung up on the whole repair procedure thing. He's the one that's hung up on the repair procedure thing.
Yes.
The repair procedures are important for you as a consumer. If something has to be welded into your vehicle, you want it welded in correctly with the right equipment by somebody that's trained properly to do that repair. You want the proper amount of welds, proper type of welds, all of that in the proper places.
Right.
I don't think that's a stretch for you, the consumer, to want that. I would say that you expect that that's what's going to happen.
You should.
But there are some downward forces
Yes.
that don't really care about that. They care about how much it costs.
And it wasn't covered in this discussion, but those downward forces affect the voice that we are hearing through these comments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's also causing other people to reach out to us for help because they're getting shortchanged.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that. So when he says body shops typically over-request what is needed and that insurance companies, they need to keep shops in line. Well, insurers insure. Repair professionals repair.
Seems
I
straightforward.
don't claim to know all the ins and outs of insurance or how they arrive at the premiums for you or different for me or for you. That's not my business.
Right.
My business is to be an expert for you, the consumer, in repairing the vehicle properly.
Right.
That is not what those people, the insurance folks, are specializing in. They're specializing in the financial aspect of it.
They're the ones who pay the bill.
Well,
Should.
yes. So, again, there's going to be bad actors, and I've heard all sorts of stories, and I see all sorts of bad repairs that have been done by other shops that come here and get post-repair inspections. There are bad actors out there that are not looking out for you.
Right.
There's no question about that. That's up to you to find the right person to get your car repaired.
Okay.
So there is that. He talks about, people looking to get paid for proper procedures, and yet they're not doing anything different.
He puts the proper procedures in quotes.
Yeah.
Which means there's an indication of a bias there that he feels those are unnecessary.
Yeah. What is his credentials? Or anybody's credentials from the insurance company as far as them knowing the proper repair
Yeah.
for your vehicle? And every accident is different.
Of course.
So
Every accident is different. Every vehicle is more and more complex the newer it gets.
they're getting more complex while we're on this video.
Right.
And we need, for you, the consumer, to be up to date with our training. And they can't make the training as fast as the cars are changing.
Wow.
With the new technology that's going into them. And by the way, why is all this new technology going into them? How much of it is pushed down onto the manufacturer from the federal government to say, we want these types of things in there. We want pedestrian protection. We want this. We want rear backup cameras. We want automatic braking. We want all this stuff, and the manufacturers have to put it in the vehicle.
Yeah, it's a great big stew of legislation and public opinion and manufacturer safety and all of those things.
Yeah, they want their 5-star ratings. They want to have the cool stuff for you. You want the cool stuff in many cases. Some
Right.
people shut it off, or they leave some stuff on and shut other annoying stuff off. But some of that annoying stuff will activate emergency braking and not cause harm. Let's
Right.
just say that.
Right, sure.
So the vehicles are advancing very, very quickly. You not only need the training and the understanding of the different types of metals, the different equipment that's in every single car,
Yeah.
and it could be different. You get 3 RXs, all the same Lexus RXs, all the same color. They're all equipped differently as far as these systems that are in there. Might have this, don't have that, has everything, has nothing. None of them have nothing. But
Yeah. Let me ask you a series of questions that has an end point. Are you repairing vehicles exactly the same way that you did a few years ago today?
absolutely not.
Are you repairing vehicles exactly the way that you did a few months ago?
No. There,
Is it conceivable, and I think we've already asked and answered the question, but I just want to make this a part of the record. Is it conceivable that you're not repairing vehicles the same way that you did last week?
in some cases,
Because
the
something
vehicles come in, some of them are coming in. We had a 24 in here that has widely different options and sensors and radars
Yeah.
and sonars and all sorts of stuff on it. And this is the first time we're looking at a front end of one of these. It's different than every other car that's in here. Yesterday, I looked at a 25.
Mm-hmm.
Completely different equipped.
Do you get the occasional 20-year-old vehicle?
10 years.
10 years?
Yeah, because we try not to take in anything older than 10 years.
That's a technology
Yeah.
generations ago,
Yeah.
though,
Yeah.
right?
But they're not getting fixed in many cases the same way these are. There's so much more requirements that you find in the procedures.
Right.
And those procedures change from car to car to car to car depending on how it's
So
equipped.
the wide brush that this gentleman painted of saying that most shops consistently ask for more under the guise of proper procedures while not doing anything different than they did a few years ago, it does not apply to you.
It's an opinion.
It's an opinion based on a generalization.
Yeah.
And that generalization, like all generalizations, is not one size fits all.
Yeah. And again, he's making all these comments with the reach out to you or whoever's reading these things to say, stop the shops from charging so much to fix these widely advanced vehicles so that your rates don't go up. But he also puts in here the profit sharing.
Right. So that I can get more. Right. So that I can get more when we make more by saying no.
And I don't blame him. I mean, he's in the side of an industry, and he's protecting his tree.
Of course.
And that's, I would expect that. But I'd also expect him to maybe come down and spend a day with me and look at these cars and understand. I'm constantly teaching adjusters that show up what the advancements in these cars are requiring.
Yeah.
And it's very expensive, some of the tools that we have to purchase, the training, sending my techs and writers all over the country to training centers to learn the proper way to fix your vehicle.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say that the last comment in this whole thread is by Kevin. Kevin has been a loyal listener, and we really appreciate you, Kevin. Thank you for all your support. And he makes the point after all this, and I think this got like 20 comments on it. And
it's quite a few.
It was a great conversation to have. I got no bones.
No.
It's just, it can be confusing for the reader to understand what is going on behind the scenes in this conversation.
And the whole purpose of this entire series is to educate you, the consumer, so that confusion is at a minimum and education is at its highest opportunity.
Right. So Kevin owns a Lexus that was damaged in an accident, has been through this process. He's followed the videos. I've had communications with him personally to try to help him through the whole thing. Not an easy gig for Kevin in this particular ordeal that he's in.
Yeah.
But the last comment is from him, and he says, some cars like a Lexus are unique. This show has made us aware of the term industry standard and what it means. A shop that is focused on the safety of their guests by repairing a vehicle to manufacturer specs may not follow the so-called industry standards.
Many years ago now, we made another video in this series. I'll put a link to it here as well as in the box below that talked about those two words, industry standards. And the gentleman in question that made the comments mentioned industry standards.
Yep.
And Kevin brought it home beautifully. Industry standard is a phrase that is commonly tossed around in the insurance side of the equation, and it's they're not playing on a level playing field, right? Because their industry standard, if you ask them, well, who's involved in the standard? Who gets polled to come up with the results that you're presenting? You'll discover that the great majority of the shops that are polled are the shops that are on the insurance payroll or in partnership with them in a direct repair type of a partnership. And so it means different things to different people depending on who you ask.
Yeah. So industry standard for me is the manufacturer.
It's way up here.
It's what the manufacturer says. It's not anybody's opinion.
Right.
You're allowed to have your opinion whenever you want, except for when it comes to fixing a vehicle properly. So that's what I have for today. Again, keep those comments coming in.
Please.
And we've got people to help and respond to. And we're going to get back at it for today. Happy Saturday to you. My dear friends, happy Saturday to you. God bless. Have an amazing week. We'll see you next Saturday.